You've often used the term, I think, compassionate conservatism. What do you mean by that?
The best book I've read on Margaret Thatcher was a book by Shirley Robin Letwin. I don't know whether you've come across it personally, but it's a book written by Oliver Letwin, who's currently a Conservative MP's mother. And she frames Thatcherism as a creed of individualism, but not a creed of individualism I think it's understood today. I think a lot of people think of individualism as a sort of what I want, me, now, I, an indifference to anyone else, a sort of a selfish individualism. And Shirley Robin Letwin in this book said, if you look at how Mrs. Thatcher always understood it, particularly in, I think, one of the best speeches ever given on the link between Christianity and public policy, a speech that Margaret Thatcher gave in 1988 to the Church of Scotland, and a speech I know you're very familiar with.
It's a remarkable
John,
speech.
Yeah. The Sermon on the Mount,
yeah.
It was nicknamed of.
I've been in the business of trying to give speeches and listening to speeches, and it's up there with the best, that one. It's an extraordinary speech.
And easy to find online for any of your people watching or listening to this. But in that speech in 1988, and how Shirley Robin Letwin describes this, it was an individualism absolutely rooted in a social context of family, community, neighbourhood, of an individualism taking the best from Western civilization, an idea of a noble individualism. And Shirley Robin Letwin talks about Mrs. Thatcher really believed in the vigorous virtues of courage, of uprightness, of sacrifice, of people who would do the best for other people. Mrs. Thatcher was first a Methodist by background, and one of the great Methodists of history, Wesley, said, earn his motto, which Mrs. Thatcher often people earn as much as you can, save as much as you can, give as much as you can. It's a long answer to your question, but this is what I think is at the heart of compassionate conservatism. Not setting people free to do whatever they want, but setting them free in the context of a Judeo-Christian civilization and an ethic of community where they serve other people. They serve people through philanthropy, through job creation, through public service. And Mrs. Thatcher was horrified towards the end of the 80s. It's partly why she started giving speeches like she did to the Church of Scotland, that when her policies had helped a lot of people become rich, yes, there was a lot of social benefit to them creating jobs off the back of their own wealth. The products that they created that reduced the price of consumer goods, allowed people to be liberated from the homes, from backbreaking labour, etc. But she thought that the very rich would also give much more, that they would be more philanthropic. And she was very disappointed at that lack of willingness to be socially responsible. And I think that's part of the challenge for Conservatives today, is to remember that we are not just an economic creed, that the most important thing in life is not money.